Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. So, let's talk about English today. How much do you know about the language?
Well, I think I have a decent grasp of English, but there's always more to learn. I'm eager to know more.
That's a fantastic attitude to have. Let's start with some basics. Can you tell me, what's the English alphabet composed of?
Of course, the English alphabet has 26 letters, starting with and ending with C.
That's correct. Now, how about vowels and consonants? Can you differentiate between them?
Vowels are E, I, O, and U, while consonants are the remaining letters in the alphabet.
Excellent. Now, let's talk about tenses. How many primary tenses are there in English?
There are 3 primary tenses in English: past, present, and future. Each of these can be further divided into simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous forms.
You're absolutely right. English tenses can be quite complex. But you seem to have a good handle on them. How about irregular verbs? Can you give me an example of one?
Sure, an irregular verb example would be go. The past tense of go is went, which doesn't follow the regular pattern of adding ed.
Great example. Irregular verbs can be tricky, but practicing them helps. Now, moving on to idioms. Can you explain what an idiom is and give me an example?
An idiom is a phrase or expression that has a figurative meaning, which may not be obvious from the individual words used. For example, kick the bucket means to die.
You've got it! Idioms can be a fun and challenging aspect of English. Let's switch to grammar. Can you tell me the difference between affect and effect?
Affect is typically a verb, meaning to influence or make a change, while effect is usually a noun, signifying the result or consequence of an action.
Well done. Many people get these two confused. So it's great that you know the difference now. What's your favorite aspect of the English language?
I think I enjoy learning new vocabulary and using it to express myself creatively. It's fascinating how the language evolves over time.
I agree. Vocabulary is a fascinating part of English. And it's true, language is always changing. Do you have any favorite English authors or books?
Definitely, I love the works of Jane Austen, especially Pride and Prejudice. Her novels have such rich language and social commentary.
Jane Austen is a classic choice. Her novels are a treasure trove of English literature.
By the way, do you have any favorite English accent or dialect that you find particularly interesting or unique?
That's a great question. English accents are so diverse, and each has its charm. I find the Scottish accent quite intriguing. The way they roll their R's and the unique vocabulary they use adds a special flair to it. What about you? Is there a specific English accent you're curious about?
I'm quite curious about the Australian accent, especially the way they shorten words and use slang. It sounds really fun and distinctive.
The Australian accent is indeed distinctive and often quite endearing. The slang and colloquialisms can add a lot of character to the language. We can certainly explore that next time.
That sounds great. I'm also interested in learning more about the history of the English language, how it evolved over the centuries, and its global influence.
That's an excellent topic. The history of the English language is a fascinating journey through time. It has evolved from Old English to Middle English, and finally to modern English, and its global impact is undeniable. We'll definitely delve into that in future sessions.
I can't wait to learn more. English is such a rich and versatile language. Thanks for being such a great teacher.
You're very welcome. It's a pleasure to have such an enthusiastic and dedicated student like you. Remember, there's always more to discover in the world of English, so keep your curiosity alive. If you have any questions or topics you'd like to explore in the future, don't hesitate to let me know. Until our next chat, take care and keep learning.